It's Tuesday, February 19th, 2008. This is Variant Edition. Welcome to Variant Edition, your source for comic book news and culture. I'm Mike. 2 years ago, way back in February 2006, we started the first weekly video podcast dedicated to comics and comic culture. And what a 2 years it's been. Check out last week's episode to see a glimpse back to the beginning. Over time, we've expanded and added Variant Edition Tuesdays and our occasional discussion show. But let's focus on the present. This week, we start our third year bringing you the latest in comics and comic news. So sit back and get ready for a quick dose of comic knowledge that will prepare you to step in your comic shop this week.
Hi, I'm Lewis, and here's a look at what comics you can expect to find in shops this week. After the rundown, I'll be back with our pick of the week. Okay, so we've shown the bulk of comics coming out this week, but what's our pick of the week? Invincible number 48. Invincible is arguably one of the best superhero titles on the stands. Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley have elevated their work over the last few years to bring us something that few other superhero comics can bring. Kirkman manages to weave stories full of twists and great character moments that, while not ever simple, they never get too complicated. The world of Invincible is rich and unpredictable. This is a book that every comic fan should be reading.
Hi, I'm Nick, and these are your headlines for Tuesday, February 19th, 2008. As seems to be the case most weeks, the news is full of digital comics news. We talked about them last year, but Rebellion, the publishers of 2000 AD, joined up with Clickwheel to distribute downloadable versions of their weekly comics online. That's the old news. The new bit is that so far response has been positive, and they plan to start adding archive material to the service. So in addition to the weekly 2000 AD, expect to find back issues. The first edition will include the entire 2007 catalog, with eventual plans to put even more of the library online. In comics-related gaming news, the Marvel Universe online MMO is dead. There's a few theories online for the move, but ultimately don't expect to jump into an online version of the Marvel Universe anytime soon. I guess World of Warcraft just gets the win. Oh, want some actual comics news? There's a new Flash Gordon comic in the works. Arden Entertainment, jointly owned by former Marcosia editor-in-chief Rich Ems and Brandon Deneen, have announced that they have secured the rights to publish new Flash Gordon comics starting later this year. Oh, and don't worry, they won't have anything to do with the latest incarnation of Flash that appeared on Sci-Fi. Think more of a modernization of the original Alex Raymond strips from the 1930s. Expect more news about Flash in the upcoming months. Now let's talk of moving pictures with Lewis, who's filling in for Eddie this week. Lewis?
Thanks, Nick. Eddie usually gets a chance to fill you guys in on some of the comings and goings in the world of film as related to comics. Well, I'll try my best to keep the streak going. First up are reports that 20th Century Fox is suing Warner Brothers over the still-in-production Watchmen movie. The legalese is a little hard to get through, but it seems that years ago, Fox acquired the rights to distribute a Watchmen film. Since they are not going to be putting out the movie, they're expecting a contractually agreed-to buyout, which Warner Brothers has never paid. I doubt it will impact production much beyond some lawyers getting paid and the studios getting into the news. So hopefully, we should still be on track for a Watchmen movie next year. Want something a little sooner? check out the new teaser for the upcoming Gotham Knights animation that is scheduled for release this summer. Set to coincide with The Dark Knight, DC worked with 6 Japanese directors to create an anthology movie that seems to be directly inspired by the Animatrix. And based on some of the animation that we get to see in the teaser, the anime directors are putting as much hard work into Gotham Knights as their counterparts put into the Animatrix. Definitely something to look out for. And wrapping up, USA Today ran the first picture from the currently filming X-Men Origins Wolverine movie. So far, so good. Nick?
Thanks, Lewis. Finally, we're all a bit shocked at how well the Gerard Way penned Umbrella Academy has turned out. In case you're not familiar with Mr. Way's other work, he's the lead singer for My Chemical Romance. And with the exception of Kiss, not very many music-to-comics crossovers work. Remember the fun we had with the Amory Wars? Well, that doesn't seem to bother the Dable brothers. They have plans for Fall Out Boy comics. Oh boy. Hoping to hop on the emo bandwagon 3 years too late, the Dables are hooking up with Fall Out Boy as they want to branch out beyond recognizable literary translations into other lucrative multimedia fields. It remains to be seen exactly what sort of comic the Fall Out Boy book will be beyond the 2 planned Perfect Bound issues, but rest assured, I'll be there with a snarky comment. Alright, that's it for the news this week. We'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Kevin, and this week's Book of the Week, well, it's not exactly a book. I'm going to cheat a bit. It's Freak Angels by Warren Ellis and Paul Duffield. Why the cheat? Well, first, it's not a complete issue. It's actually only 6 pages, and it's not a book. It's online. But I can cheat if I want, since it's at least a comic. Warren Ellis is on a bit of a tear lately. Strong mainstream superhero work with the Thunderbolts, and the controversial and brilliant Black Summer, to name but a few, and that's not even taking his upcoming work into consideration. Now, Freak Angels may have just started, but like most of Ellis's work, it hits the ground running. It's been only 6 pages, but I have a pretty good idea of the broken world that these characters inhabit. Imagine crossing Akira, steampunk, gothic Lolitas, and a watery apocalypse into a blender. The art has a beautiful cel-shaded / anime-inspired look, and it seems to fit what little of the world we've seen so far perfectly. Now, I know I'm jumping out of the gate after only 6 pages, but I like what I see. I won't say too much. Click over to freakangels.com and check it out for yourself. If the rest of the series is as strong as its debut, I think we're all in for another wild, Ellis-induced ride, and I can't wait to see where it leads.
So we got a couple first looks for you. The first one I'm looking at, of course, is The Order. It's a book that I was at first very wary of, and then I started actually reading it on a regular basis when it was coming out, and I really enjoy this book now. And I discovered today that it's only going to last till issue 10, so if you guys want to hop onto the Order bandwagon with the whole initiative in 50 states, now might be a good time to go back and buy 1 through 7, along with 8, 9, and 10, because it actually turned out to be a really, really good book. I also took a look at Hulk. Red Hulk, Blue Abomination. What? And the Shield Carrier is now gold and crimson. Iron Man, Tony Stark, you crazy devil. Also, a book that I was pleasantly surprised with, The Immortal Iron Fist, and a name that I can't remember as a subtitle. But what's important here, I think it's like the Green Mist of Death or something. I'm going to point out, I like the Iron Fist. I like the storylines that he's in usually. I'm a little confused by this one, but not because of where the story is going. What happens is there's these multiple Earths, and he's, well, not Earths, but realms, and he's got these 7 coins that are pennies and, worthless on these other realms, but they're kind of magical and priceless here. But that's besides the point. This is setting up for a nice big battle that's soon to come, I'm assuming, because I don't know where they're going with it. Also, this book features the worst villain ever, the Green Mist John Amon. Bad name, but he is the worst villain ever for the sheer fact that he's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you! Oh, that guy's wounded. You better take care of him and I'll be back to finish you off later. And then later on, he's like, oh, I set a trap for you! That guy got wounded? Okay, fine, go help him and then I'll be back later to kill you. And he's like, another trap and I got you! Fine, take care of him. I'll be back to kill you later. And this happens for like eons, as far as I can tell. Like, this one guy is chasing Iron Fist, and every time he's like, I got you now, he's like, you better take care of that, and then I'll be back to finish you off later. And at the end of the book, he's like, I'm your friend and I'm on your side now. And I'm like, when were you against him? Alright, that's it for Variant Edition Tuesday this week.
Like we've said for the last few episodes, we're starting up Season 3 and we've got some new stuff planned. What sort of stuff?
Well, to answer a few questions from online, we're slightly changing our format a little. You've probably noticed a few things for the last few weeks.
And if not, we're just going to have to spell it out for you. Variant Edition Tuesdays are still a quick dose of comic knowledge, but instead of being about 5 minutes, they'll be closer to about 10.
Yeah, it might vary from week to week, but we wanted to start adding a few reviews to our Tuesday show, including our Book of the Week and a few first looks.
Book of the Week is painfully obvious, but our first looks will be quick reviews of a few comics that are due to come out the next day on Wednesday.
So you'll know what is coming out and if it's worth picking up.
And from time to time, expect us to give you a rundown of some big event or book that is set to come out.
So Tuesdays may be a little longer than before, but it's only because we're packing in such a large amount of information.
That's pretty much it. Oh, and plus, we've upgraded to how we shoot the show.
Oh, have we?
As you can tell, Variant Edition has gone widescreen. So, expect all of our episodes after this one to be widescreen.
Plus, I'll look fatter. Behind the scenes, Kevin changed a few things and set us up at Blip TV, so our podcast version is higher quality than before, plus we have the super high quality version from Views, the very popular YouTube version, plus VO and Google Video versions of the show.
But if you're still not sure on how to find any of those versions, just go to the easiest source, variantedition.com, and we've got links to them all right there on our site.
Still the easiest. And hopefully soon variantedition.com should have a few more surprises, including some exclusive content like our guest speaker column.
Yeah, alright, well, it's about time to wrap it up, but before we go, we'd also like to thank Classic Comics, our host for this and just about every episode we've done.
Classic Comics in Rahway, New Jersey is your friendly neighborhood comic shop.
Yeah, check out ClassicComics.com for more information about the shop, including how you can save up to 20% on your comics every week.
So, that's everything. We'll see you later in the week. Good ad-libs. I really want next week if we put in